welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things. So today I'm doing a heavily requested video, and that is to do an updated Shadowhunters reading order. I get asked this a lot because I love the Shadowhunter Chronicles and talk about them a lot, and everyone always says I really want to read them, but there's loads of books and you have to read them in a specific order and it's really stressful, and it is. I mean, I would be very intimidated if I hadn't started reading these when there was only like 5 or 6 books, I think. Now there's 17, which sounds like a lot. And it is a lot, but I have a reading order for you guys. This is the reading order I would recommend. There are so many different ways you can read these series. You can read them in chronological order. You can read them series per series if you really want to. But this is the publication order. This is the order that is the most recommended to get the full enjoyment and no spoilers and full understanding of the series for you. So this is the order I would always recommend, so that's the one I'm going to share with you. So first of all, you're going to want to read City of Bones, which is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series. Then you are going to want to read City of Ashes, which is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. And then you're going to read City of Glass, which is the third book in the Mortal Instruments series. Then you are going to take a pause on the Mortal Instruments series for just a hot second, and you are going to read Clockwork Angel, which is the first book in the Infernal Devices series. Then you're going to hop straight back over to the Mortal Instruments and read book 4, which is City of Fallen Angels. Then you're going to jump straight back in to 1800s England by reading the second book of the Infernal Devices, which is Clockwork Prince. Then you see where this is going. The fifth book of the Mortal Instruments, City of Lost Souls. And then the third book in the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Princess. Then we're going to jump straight out of the series for a minute and we're going to read The Bane Chronicles, which is short stories following the life of Magnus Bane, who is a key character in every Shadowhunter book. He pops up everywhere. So then you're going to read these ones. Then you're going to go to the last book of the Mortal Instruments series, which is City of Heavenly Fire. To break that down, the Mortal Instruments series, which was technically the first series that was like the main one, obviously City of Bones was the first book, is the main kind of like starter series, I guess, and the Infernal Devices is a prequel to that series. That's why, but things tie in and things work in certain ways, so that's why it's recommended that you kind of chop and change reading them, and that was also how they were released as well. Then you're going to go to another bind up, which is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, which is short stories all about Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I don't want to go into too much detail about who's there and what's going on because we're getting into spoilery territory, but this is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, and it's bind up of short stories just like the Bane Chronicles is. Then, my friends, we have another series, so we are going to go in with the first book of the Dark Artifices, which is a sequel series to the Mortal Instruments and technically also the Infernal Devices, and we're going to go with the first book, which is Lady Midnight. Then we're going to go for the second book, which is Lord of Shadows, and the third book in that series, which is Queen of Air and Darkness. And then we are going to read the third and final, as of right now, bind up, which is Ghosts from the Shadow Market.
Hi, editing me. I know that it's Ghosts of the Shadow Market. I'm annoyed at myself that I keep watching myself say it wrong. I know it's Ghosts of the Shadow Market, but because I was saying Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, I just kept getting it confused. Ghosts of the Shadow Market.
And then we're going to go for the first book in the Eldest Curses series, The Red Scrolls of Magic. This focuses on Magnus again and another character, but again, if you don't know, I don't want to spoil anything. And this is going to be a trilogy. The second one comes out later this year and it is called The Lost Book of the White, and it is a short kind of novella series about something else that happened while the other books were going on that we didn't know about at the time. And then last but not least, you are going to read Chain of Gold, which is the first book in the Last Hours series, and the Last Hours is a direct follow-up sequel to the Infernal Devices. There will be 2 more books. I can't do 2s. There'll be 2 more books in the Last Hours series, and there'll be 2 more books in the Eldest Curses series, and then there will be the next series, which is also going to be a trilogy, which is called The Wicked Powers, but that's not due to be out yet. That is the order I would recommend to get full fulfillment and understanding of things. People say, do I have to read the novellas? I would say yeah, especially now. I think there's so much information in them that is then also mentioned and referenced in the actual books that I think it does benefit you to read the short stories. You can read them on Kindle as individual stories, or you can buy the big bind-ups. It's up to you what you want to do with them, but especially more like Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy and Ghosts from the Shadow Market, I would definitely recommend reading them. And I do think it's gotten to the point now where I would say it's best to read them before going on. At one point you could have just read the Infernal Devices and not read the Mortal Instruments, or vice versa, but I think it's become so entangled now that I think it is important. It's a bit like the Marvel movies. At the beginning you didn't have to watch them all, now you definitely do to understand. So I would really recommend now reading them all. I wouldn't recommend just jumping into Chain of Gold without reading the other ones, and I wouldn't recommend just jumping into the Dark Artifices without reading the Mortal Instruments. I think it's just as important to understand them all. So I think if you're going to commit to the Shadowhunter world, commit to all 17 books. Obviously there is the Shadowhunters Codex, and there is also the Denizens of the Downworld photo book and stuff. All of those things I say are nice little bonuses. Some of them did come out after other books, but some of them may have accidental spoilers. They might have pictures of characters you didn't know existed, or information about characters you didn't know existed, so I would recommend erring on the side of caution with those, just in case you don't want to get spoiled, because there's so many amazing things and plot twists and information in these books that discovering it is such an amazing thing that you don't want it to be spoiled. So yes, so that is the updated Shadowhunter Chronicles reading order. I want to do more Shadowhunter videos. I want to do a whole Shadowhunter 101 series, so any information you want to know about the Shadowhunter Chronicles, drop it down below and we can do Shadowhunters 101. Like I said, if you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandomy things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as usual, all the links to my other social media is in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!